Welcome back to Path of Exile. We're currently in Act 7, just reached the bridge encampment, and we need to continue on. But first, let's talk to some of the new characters around here.
Thank the gods. You're no saint, I can see that. Though, who am I to question what form divine providence comes in? I am the great Alva Valai, reliquarian extraordinaire. A seeker of mysteries, explorer of the unknown, lover of all things that glitter, and I need your help. The lost temple of Ansuata. Halls lined with finery, boxes stuffed with glimmering riches, and relics touched by insurmountable power. The eons lost to history, until now. I believe the secret of its location lies in the vast city, which until very recently was submerged and completely unreachable. But with all that's going on, the city has risen from the depths and, well, it's still completely unreachable. It seems the only way to even get close is across the river, and the only crossing is overrun with bandits. I have a plan that could make both of us unbelievably wealthy, but perhaps one day. Goodbye.
So there are a few familiar faces here. There's Yina and Helena. We have her available in the hideout, of course, but...
Turn your back for the barest moment and Wraeclast bites you in the proverbial. I imagine that's how you're feeling upon visiting us this time. It's how I feel about now.
So we have a couple of items available. Are there any forelinks here? Unfortunately not. We're not in dire need, but it doesn't hurt to look for these things.
Keep your life to your own.
You arrive. The Great Spirit spoke in my dreams, told me that darkness would again drown our lands. And you, Exile, would walk before the flood. But what is this? You are not alone. A shade, a memory, older even than... No, older than spirit? Fear grips my throat. I shake, but the spirit drapes a warming cloak upon my shoulders. This ancient ghost that follows you, it has the trust of the spirit. And if the spirit trusts, then I trust.
Not that much available. Amethyst flask. I don't really care about that one.
Goodbye.
So I think we're ready to continue on. In the broken bridge, we have a very important item. This is a quest for Alva and the temples. We'll get to that later. So we're looking for one of the ruined castles here. There's an expedition encounter, of course. Okay, we'll speak to Rog in a second. And we're looking for this lockbox and the silver locket. And this is something we take to Whalem.
What'll I do now? This here broken bridge speaks to me some. A fair place to rest me old bones for a bit. And tell you what, with all this sunlight and fresh air, I can feel the calling forth of the poetic muse beneath me trousers. Been a long time since I felt this here compass point in any direction. Me locket! Oh, me darling, me beautiful melody. How I miss your shuddering your quivering thighs. She had a heart to melt an iceberg, and teats the size of a... Ooh. Well, anyway, I thank you greatly. Please, whatever else be in that lockbox, take your pick from it. This locket be the only treasure I need.
And we get one of the flasks.
If you're thinking about dying, trust old William. Don't.
Before we do that, though, we're gonna complete the rogue expedition encounter.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Hello there!
I'm Rog. I specialise in logistics and planning. I don't know how you've survived out here on your own, but I'll do what I can to support you with my supply skills. From the back, far from combat.
Okay,
Watch
we
out
need
for
to get started
spiders.
here. Rog is the most important member, especially in the game mode that we're playing right now. What can we actually do? Can we hit those? Yes, we can. Immune to lightning damage does not concern us in the slightest, since we don't do any lightning damage.
Stay safe.
Let's get whatever artifacts we can.
Ready, Exile? It is time to hunt!
Now that's a familiar face.
What? Do you not have nets, Exile?
And yes, Einhar uses nets to capture these beasts. In the original League, that was also necessary. And you had to use different types of nets. I barely played in that one. Way too annoying. Thankfully that got removed. And the voice line from Einhar is the only remnant of what people had to do to capture the beasts back then.
When I'm ready, and not before.
So this time we enter the crossroads from the other side. Waypoint is still exactly in the middle of the zone. We're going south first. There's a blessed orb. These are also very useful. And we just got the crypt waypoint. I'm going to head back to the bridge. Before we do any work here, there's a trial of ascendancy, of course. I might as well speak with Aramir.
Ah, yes. You do seem to have a penchant for presenting yourself when times are at their most perplexing. It would seem that our Almighty has forsaken us. False deities from ages past now rise and ravage, while our blessed innocence remains as silent as the stones at my feet. So much for Templar propaganda, eh? Well, I suppose if we are to fend for ourselves, then I should answer your troubling arrival with our own most pressing tribulation. The relic that washed ashore and started all the chaos. It was covered in ancient Val inscriptions. Symbols were much weathered, making them challenging to translate. Yet I did my best. The inscriptions spoke of the god Ralakesh. If this object somehow housed the spirit of that many-faced monstrosity, then I fear we are all in danger. Ralakesh was renowned for his penchant for subjugation and control. Please, I urge you to destroy this god before his strength and dominance grow insurmountable. Nip this divine threat in the bud, as it were. Our poor friend, Grust, has likely become Ralakesh's avatar in this world. At least his recent behavior would indicate as much. If you could see to Grust's passing, Ralakesh will be forced to retreat into the relic. Destroy the relic, and perhaps you will also destroy the god.
And we get a bit more information. This is why they're all here and not in the original forest encampment. Gurus has taken over that area.
Hello.
Not much we can use.
Journey well.
We're gonna sell everything, and apparently I cannot level up these items because I'm not high enough level. It's not an attribute that we need, which is fine. Let me pick a flask. We have an option. Aquamarine, that's not really useful at this point. Sulfur, we already have a jade. I think we're going for a granite. There's a quartz flask here, but unless I'm mistaken, there is another quartz flask.
See ya, chum.
Available as a quest reward. So let me use some of these alteration orbs here. Anything with less duration is actually not going to work. Elemental resistances, that's a funny one. We're gonna try it for now. If we have mana issues, we'll go back to using a mana flask. Okay, one more skill point. We're going to assign it on the path on the top of the tree.
When I'm ready and not before.
The Chamber of Sins really has not changed. Do I want these boots? We're gonna use an essence here. Maybe we get something good. Yeah, this is definitely a good one. A bit low on resistances, but we get movement speed and we get a lot of life. So this is lightning damage recipe. For now, we cannot really use the map device. We need another item. So we're going to progress back in the crypt. And we can actually enter that sarcophagus. This was here in the original version when we came in Act 2, but it was not accessible. And there's Maligaro's map. Okay, we can head back now. That's not a good one. Let me stash these boots. Actually, before I do it, I'm gonna place the mana flask as well.
I imagine it was no easy feat, removing that abomination from its tomb. The horrors that must still lurk beneath the Fell Shrine. Well, I suppose you'll be meeting abominations aplenty where you're going next. Place that map upon Maligaro's reverie device, and remember, hope for the worst. At least then you'll be partially prepared for what's to come.
I think she meant prepare for the worst.
Journey well.
Then again, maybe not. Okay, we need to go to the hideout. So our resistances take a heavy hit. Maybe I don't really want to use these boots. We're gonna have to wait until we get a bit more lightning resistance. Then again, we might just craft it. So how about we craft fire here? 21 to 28. That's 24. And before we craft this wand that we're using just for onslaught, So lightning could be covered with one craft. I'm going to use the Wailing Essence here. We're gonna get a decent amount of spell damage. And we do have an open suffix. None of the other stats are particularly good. We're gonna craft lightning resistance. And we're looking much better now. Just miss a few points. It would be nice to get some chaos resistance, but that can wait for now. Let me place Grace here. So the Withering Step is going to be affected by increased duration. I'm not really sure how the elusive part is going to interact with it. So if I press it now, it really doesn't display much. Perhaps the increased duration only affects the Wither debuff. It seems to actually decay at the same rate. And Silk appeared out of nowhere.
To you, great dreamer.
Where have you been?
We have woven a tale together in days past. Perhaps we shall again. We make mighty stories, you and I. And now I have daunting task before me, the last in my great journey. Near to us, cast in shadow, a monster awaits. Black Death is his name. A beauteous eight-leg, twisted grotesque by the master of these loathsome halls. I wish to give this eight-leg the merciful peace he deserves, and to save what is still beautiful, the elixir that only Black Death can make. Please, will you find him? Kill this Black Death. Take the eight-leg's venom for me. I may be fearsome warrior, but Black Death's master has made him into a thing more monstrous than even I can best. Who knows? Perhaps Black Death is too strong even for you.
Judging by the chaos damage we're going to take and our negative resistance, it might just be too much for us. But there's only one way to find out. We're gonna place Maligaro's map, hit activate, and we enter the Sanctum. Let's activate Grace again. And we also have Danning. This is the leader of the expedition force. Okay, I think the area is clear, so we can start now. Never mind.
You're naught but skin and bones, Exile. But you've made it this far. Clearly you must have some talent.
Yeah, clearly.
Care to lend your skills to a matter of honor? The most powerful artifact in our known tales was brought to this continent by the first expedition thousands of years ago. The songs tell of it incinerating evil, purifying tainted fields, and warding off those of ill intent. We could certainly use a relic like that now, in these troubled times. To find it, we'll have to retrace the steps of those long-ago souls. Only they can tell us the Triskelion Flame's unknown fate. Farewell.
And if I'm not mistaken, this Triskelion flame was the reason they came here from another continent. So what are we going to unearth here? Monsters apply a random hex, and that doesn't sound too good. We have an impale on attack, that's also not that good. Chaos resistance, we're definitely not getting that one. I think that's good. Let me detonate this one. There's an orb of binding. And a gem that we don't really need. We're gonna use that orb of binding in a second.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Okay, we do not have a bleed immunity. That means we have to be extra careful. And we honestly didn't get anything good here. We'll press on. I want to fight the boss of this area. Carnal mitts. Let me pick those up. These evasion energy shield bases are the best for us to use, because we have the collars and the defenses that we need. So this is the workshop. There's Maligaro. Let me open a portal. This is a creature that we need to find the venom of. And that was it. We didn't really get hit, which is surprising. I'm not really good at doing these events.
Nears completion, and now only the wretched Dodri Darktongue remains. Unlike her compeers, who, in undeath, have yearned for the familiar, Dodri appears drawn to the old wounds of calamity. The cataclysm took San and left much that a parasite like Dodri might enjoy. I shall meet you in San, where I hope you shall make swift and bloody work of that foul hag.
Yeah, this is the last member of the three guardians. Now we have to talk to Silk.
The Black Venom. O great dreamer who has done great deeds. I shall see to it that my queen rewards you with honor and mercy when she rises up to claim what is hers. Yes, this elixir, so aged and potent, shall be life-giving draught that she sips upon first waking. It is my gift to her, my wedding gift. Great dreamer, you will be wrapped in silken finery and made welcome at our wedding feast, guest of honor. And oh, what a feast we all shall enjoy.
And we get an obsidian key as a reward. About that wedding, judging from how the encounter with Nessa and the Brine King went, I'm not holding high hopes. So these gloves are not really useful. Spell crit also cannot use. Let me try to craft these gloves. Honestly, not that good. Only slightly better. They have 4 links though. We're going to just keep them. The festival mask is not that good either.
One less twisted intellect perverting our world.
Agreed.
There is still much to be done, but at least we can rest easier in the knowledge that Meligaro and his foul creations will trouble Wraeclast no longer. Here. I know that you and Groost didn't see eye to eye, but I'm sure he would have wanted to recognize this deed. It's the act of a warrior, after all.
Yeah, about Groost. I'm gonna miss that grumpy one. So these boots are also decent. Not enough movement speed, but we can craft 2. Come to think of it, they are much better than the current boots.
Journey well.
We're gonna have to keep them though. We can't afford to be spending too many chromatics to get the sockets. Now what does
Hello.
Helena have to sell? How about any of the evasion energy shield pieces? Tricorn. This sounds... Hey, this looks decent. Let me try and use this Orb of Binding. Not quite.
What you tell me of Silk, this I understand, though I do not want to. I have spent many nights pondering Silk's journey, why he has stepped from the spirit path. Now I know. He has walked into the 8 arms of blind lust, Arakali. Silk is a warning to us all. He is trying to take the short trail to greatness, to the story Spirit has made for him. Silk tries to steal his story, but now he holds only a lie. Please, you must find the place where this Arakali sleeps in her web of shadow. You must stop Silk before he wakes her, a mistake that we all will come to regret. The Spirit tells me this is so. Remember to live.
Okay, let me try to find the final... Something's going on with that waypoint. Some bizarre flickering issue. Oh, it's here as well. Oh, wait just a minute. No, it's still here. That's a bizarre one. Change of plans, everyone. I'm going to cut the video short. Maybe some type of technical issue arose there. I'm going to troubleshoot a bit, and I'm going to be back. A bit of a shorter episode here. Let's talk to Eramir before we...
What? He's intending to make matrimony with Arakali? My word, that's quite a story even for Silk. Yes, I know that name, and the place to which it is purportedly attached. A temple to the north, now in ruins. If Silk intends unholy congress with this Arakali, that is the most likely place we would seek it. Unfortunately, Arakali's temple lies beyond that which now belongs to Ralakesh. To reach the many-legged goddess, you must first draw to some conclusion with the many-faced god. The end of learning is the beginning of death.
And unfortunately, we can't really access that temple before we deal with Groost and the other demigod. Let me try the crypt once again. I'm going to make a new instance.
When I'm ready, and not before.
This is the sarcophagus. We don't want to go to the lower level. Just looking for the trial. And this one is of the spinning. Spinning pillars. Sure, whatever to even call these things. We're gonna wait until this one moves, and we're good. Damage over time recipe. There's a corrupted one.
Shine boldly, so that all may find you when the night falls.
Corrupted satin slippers.
Greetings. Journey well.
Fortunately, we did not have to cut the video short. Whatever flickering issue appears to have been solved. Now, where do we have to go? We have to go back to the chambers. Silk has nothing there. Do you have anything to say? No, you do not. So we're going for atrophy. There's also influence. Yeah, we're going with influence. The steps leading down are directly across the waypoint. And we have to trace our steps, trace back our steps to wherever we fought the abomination. What was it? Fidelitis. So we can use the key and
not before.
Proceed to the next area. What about... I think this is where the unique boss is for this area. This is the trial. And we're almost done here.
There is a fine line between consideration and hesitation. The former is wisdom, the latter is fear.
And what do we get? Honestly, all that just for a scrap. And this is the secret passage. We actually need that obsidian key before we can access these areas. So there's a waypoint.
When I'm ready, and not before.
There's an essence, but there's also this enemy with some type of ghost. There's a remnant of corruption. Okay. Unfortunately, this fight is going to be tough.
Oops, clumsy me.
Now all that's left is to find the exit. Okay, now that we have the waypoint, let me get that smuggler's cache. Rogue markers, that's a decent one. And do we want these contracts? These are storyline missions. I'm going to keep them because you can do some interesting things with these. Not sure if they're intended by the developers, but we're gonna try. Maybe they just fail. Let's identify everything.
Greetings.
This is a 30% movement speed. Trapper boots might be worth keeping. We can only craft resistance on this one. Might be useful though. 52 life, that's an acceptable amount. This one isn't really good. Serpent scale. No. Ice Nova, that is... Can we actually sell these gems? Yes, we can. We can get a Gem Cutter's Prism. If you sell gems with quality on them, there's a sort of a secret counter. And if you have over 40% quality in total, you get a Gem Cutter's Prism. We'll place the movement speed boots, and I'm going to the hideout. No, never mind that. We're going to the Rogue Harbor because we have to tick another interface option here. So at the heist locker, we have to make sure that affinity is enabled. So every item relating to heists will be deposited there. Let me just grab everything. And we can try one of these contracts.
Got my contract, do you? Ran with some low-life criminal scum in the back alleys of Oriath in my younger days. Real good blokes, loyal to the last. Or so I thought. But right before I was exiled, they beat me half to death and took off with my finest lockpicks. If I'd had them when the law came for me, I probably wouldn't be here. So, in a sense, I suppose I should be thankful, eh?
That's one way to think about it.
I want those pics back. And I spent a lot of markers to find out where they went. Now I know. And you're gonna help me get him.
So this is the contract from Karst. Let me actually attempt this. We're not going to complete this one.
A job's a job. Reckon I'll have a night out with the lads after this one. Can't remember the last time I blacked out.
So what we're gonna do is enter this zone. And we're gonna try to loot what we can and escape without triggering the alarm. Meaning, well, we can't really loot too much, but also we cannot complete the objective because that will trigger it immediately.
Good. You take that.
You're dead, did you hear that?
Who put you in a bad mood?
Keep your wits about you.
Nah, go on. You got him.
Fight like you mean it.
Too easy. Not quick, but not hard.
And we're getting decent amounts of currency here.
Keep your wits about you. Say
Nah,
goodbye.
go on. You got him. Shh, shut it. Wasn't worth it, was it?
That was a normal enemy. That was a massive amount of damage. There's another 6 socket. These are very useful.
Make him suffer! Quick, before they make too much noise.
There's another locked chest behind one of these rooms. Full of currency. We're gonna open that and then head out.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Easy.
Oh, I don't think so. Fight like you mean
Is
it.
that a 6
Much
link?
better.
Yeah!
What is going on here? That is a 6 link chest piece.
Easy. Might need to bail soon.
There's another Chaos Orb, some Chance Orbs. And yeah, calling that a lucky find
Quick, before they make too much noise.
is definitely an understatement. Another Chaos Orb.
Should have stayed out of it. I'll take it.
And now we have to get out.
Keep rookie! Rock!
Now the contract has failed, which is not really a big deal, because this was one of the storyline ones, just like finding Opal here with Tibbs. And when you open one of these smuggler caches, you're going to loot one of these until you complete them all, of course. So you don't really fail anything, but you do miss on a couple of rogue markers, which is not really a big deal. Let's deposit what we can. Definitely this this vest. We might want to scour and craft it. Now we have 2 scours. That's all right. 121 energy shield. That's a decent upgrade.
Happy hunting.
Normally getting a 6-link item is a bit more complicated. I had some thoughts about getting divination cards. This drop changes a lot. So for now, let me fix these sockets. We need a couple of green ones. Okay, that's really good. And I am thinking there's efficacy, that's a decent one. Since we do not have the ability to use more curses, we might as well put Soul Rend here. Wait, we have... No, never mind. We can use Control Destruction and also Swift Affliction. We can buy this one from Act 2.
I am not surprised. I saw you, in my slumber, drive the darkness away.
Okay, nothing new here. There's another Control Destruction. So Bane cost 52 mana here. And 27 without. I doubt we'll be able to sustain that much. But we're gonna try either way.
Stay true to you.
Now what can we craft? Do we have any essences? Only a minion related one. Minion life? Probably not. We have a few Chaos Orbs. Orbs of Alchemy. Yeah, that's fine for now. 56. That's more fire resistance. Let me craft these gloves and we're good. We'll keep it just in case.
This'll do nicely, Exile.
When I'm ready, and not before.
We seem to be doing okay with the mana cost. Yeah, that's fine. We're keeping the 6 link.
This'll do nicely, Exile.
There's a short gauntlet before we actually get to fight Groost here.
Ranakesh.
And one of the demigods has been dealt with.
Kingdom end without a trace.
we have the waypoint on the forest. Let me go back. A couple of quests to finish here. That was a decent one. Unfortunately, we might want to craft life on this one. 2 resistances. Okay.
Yes, I thank you. Though I loved him, I know Groost was lost to me the very moment he touched that vile abomination. I will weep over his passing for many more nights to come. But I am happy that you avenged his honor and freed him from his torment. There's an Asmeri shrine tucked away in the northern forest. Groost took me there, told me it was a memorial to those who had gone before him, a place where their spirits could rest. When he passed, he wanted his remains to be laid to rest with the bones of his people. His body, I find it difficult to even think about it, but I doubt it will ever be recovered. Yet there might still be a way. He gave me his necklace, the fangs he earned when he rose from boyhood to manhood, handed it to me for safekeeping only moments before Wraeclast. It's almost as if he knew what was to come. Please, could you deliver this necklace to the shrine for me? Put Groost's spirit to rest? I would do it myself, but the journey to the northern forest is not what it was. These lands have changed, and not for the better.
So there's another quest for us.
Farewell.
You truly are a hero of the modern age, succeeding where even the ancient Val could not. I must say I'm really quite relieved. For a while there I feared we were headed towards another theocratic dictatorship. Exile allowed me to be free of one. I had no wish to experience another. You deserve to be rewarded for your efforts. Here, something with a little insight would suit your purposes nicely.
And we get rewarded with a book of skill.
Keep your wits about you.
We need a lot more of these. Unfortunately, the game is not exactly generous with the skill points. So we get some mana reservation efficiency. There's also influence. I don't think we need anything else from the mastery here. But we did make a lot of progress, and it's a good place to end the episode. Hope you enjoyed your time so far. Path of Exile is a game I'm enjoying, and there'll be plenty more to follow. So, hope to see you in the next video.